Turn us on and up. There is a great deal that is not beautiful in the world at the moment. So tonight we're going to concentrate on the beautiful. We're going to find the beautiful as we enter into Shabbat. We're going to sing our way all the way to L'Chadodi. So we're going to stay on our sheets until then, and then after that we'll turn to page 121. So let's find the beauty in Shabbat together as we turn to our supplements.
Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Yedid nefesh av harachaman, meshochav decha el retzonecha.
Adonai Bechino Bechino V'kol Zimra Zamru Adonai Bechino Bechino Adonai,
please join me now in lighting the Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shem Shabbat.
Panei Shabbat Nakabala Lachadori Likrakala Panei Shabbat Nakabala Lachadori Likrakala Panei Shabbat Nakabala Lachadori Likrakala Panei Shabbat Nakabala Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad ishmianu b'elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'Hashem l'tiferet v'letzilah l'echadoni Shabbat Mekabala Likrat Shabbat Lechu v'necha Ki lekor Abaracha Merosh Mikedem Nesucha Sof Ma'aseh V'machshav Tzedila Lachadori Likrakala Panei Shabbat Nakabala Lachadori Likrakala Panei Shabbat Nakabala It's alright Panei Shabbat Mekabala Oi v'shalom Atzarala Gam b'simcha
רצונה,
תוך
אמונה
סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך אדוני,
לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקרבבה,
לך אדוני, לקראת כלה, בני שבת
As we depart from our work week and arrive at Shabbat, we recognize that some of us arrive to this Shabbat in a place of bereavement and mourning. To them we offer the traditional words, Hamakom yenachem etchem b'toch sha'ar ha'avelim. May the Eternal One comfort you, together with all those who mourn.
We continue to sing our way into Shabbat by turning to page 124, Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat. Tov l'Adon l'Adonai, ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב לאדון לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וחינוך, כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארונן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש בעל לא ידע, וכסיל לא יבין את זאת. בפרח רשעים כמו עשב, ויציצו כל פועלי אבן, להישמדם עדי עד. ואתה מרום לעולם אדוני. כי הנה אויביך אדוני, כי הנה אויביך יאבדו, יתפרדו כל פועלי אבן. ותרן קרן קני בלותי בשמן רענן, ותביתני בשורי, וקמים עליים רעים, תשמענה אוזני.
צדיק אתה
יפרח, כארץ בלבנון יזכה. בבית אדוני, לחצות אלוהינו יבריחו. עוד ינובון בשיבה, בשנים ברעננים יהיו.
turn to page 127 as we join together in the call to prayer for the Barchi. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
המעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח ונעלוז בדברי תורתך, ומצוותיך וחוקותיך לעולם ועד.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהגה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב את עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך מכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה
Asher Anochi Mitzavcha Hayom Al Levavecha, V'shinantam Levanecha V'dibarta Bam, V'shivtecha B'veitecha, U'v'lechtecha B'derech, U'shokbecha U'v'kumecha, U'shatam Le'ot Al Yadecha, V'hayu L'totafot B'neinecha, U'chtavtam Al Mezuzot Beitecha, U'visharecha. And we'll take a moment for the second paragraph of Shema for ourselves, coming together as always for the third paragraph on page 134. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor, Daber el bnei Yisrael v'amata lehem, v'asur lahem tzitzit, al kanfei bigdeihem ledorotam, v'natnu al tzitzit hakanaf v'tihel techeret, v'haya lachem letzitzit uritem oto uzakartem eko mitzvot Adonai v'asitem otam v'lo taturu acharei levavchem v'acharei nechem asher atem zonim achareihem leman tizkaru v'asitem eko mitzvotai v'yitem kadoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. The Geulah, with its promise of redemption, speaks about the promise of betterness, that things can be better than they are, the possibility of change. And so we imagine ourselves standing on the shore, having made a change, having been redeemed, but also recognizing a journey that's ahead of us. We're in the middle of page 135. Together with Moses and Miriam, we'll sing with joy.
Come.
Yifada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugealo miad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, God Yisrael. Source of our life and our sovereign, cause us to lie down in peace and rise again to enjoy life. Spread over us the covering of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Be a shield about us, turning away every enemy, disease, violence, hunger, and sorrow. Remove the temptation that awaits us and the guilt that lies behind us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are a God who guards and protects us, a ruler of mercy and compassion. Guard us when we go out and when we come in, to enjoy life and peace both now and forever, and spread over us the shelter of your peace. Blessed are you, God, spreading the shelter of peace over us, over your people Israel, and over all the world. We'll now sing our way in and sing our way out of our Amidah, beginning with the Shamru on page 137.
את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם. Page 140. We're going to sing our way into the Amidah and then have some space for ourselves before we come together for Yehiyul Ratzon. Adonai one of the things that we sometimes overlook in our tradition, with its focus on study and on intellect, with its detailed legal framework, the product of dialectic and argument, with its insistence that we can control our yetzer hara, our evil inclination, merely with the power of our will. One of the things we sometimes overlook when we consider all of this is just how raw our tradition can also be. The level of emotional honesty in our texts is extraordinary. Read our narratives, our stories, and you'll find moments of real emotion, be they rabbinic or biblical. This week's portion is a good example. Abraham, confronted with the pain of a difficult family choice, to reject the instructions of his wife and of God, or to send away his son into the wilderness. Vayera hadavar ma'od be'enei Abraham al odot bano. This thing was greatly distressing to Abraham on account of his son. We can imagine him torn up at the difficulty of the decision, in need of divine comfort. Hagar, having been sent away and now desperate in the wilderness with her son, places the boy down. And the text continues, Vatisa et kola vatevk. She raises her voice and she weeps. Pain, sadness, loss and love, these are all openly displayed in our story. Our ancestors openly call out to God, and they cry. As well as being a legal, intellectual, rational tradition, ours, though we sometimes forget it, is also an emotional tradition. It recognizes that to be fully human is to acknowledge and express the God-given emotions that we contain within us. Of course, such expressiveness is not always easy. It is far less exposing to keep tight control of our emotions, as we English try to do. It is easier to hide our emotions behind declarations about what we see, to find people to be angry at, to find people to blame, rather that than be willing to say, this makes me sad, or scared, or anxious, or disappointed. Because rarely do we feel the safety to say how we really feel. But for many of us, our emotions are very raw right now, as we experience our world at this moment. Not all of us. We are all of us different in our responses, of course. But for many, this year has been extraordinarily testing, to say the least. For many, this month is living up to its Hebrew name, Mar Cheshvan, Bitter Cheshvan, so called as it has no festivals or rejoicing within it. This week has seen us go into another lockdown. Events in Vienna and now in Washington very present in our minds. Our sadness at what we cannot do, the loved ones we cannot see, now mixed with anxiety about what we see around us. The word I keep hearing, the emotion I keep feeling, is heaviness. A heaviness that sits upon us, that sits within us. So how do we make it lighter? What can we do to ease it? The insight of our tradition is that the way to do so is not to pretend that it isn't there, but to name it, to find the strength, as our tradition does for our ancestors, to be emotionally honest when we need to, like Hagar, to raise our voices and cry. There is much that I want to ask of you this evening. I want to ask you to be sensible and safe. I want to ask you to be patient and to keep looking out for one another. But most of all, after this long year, at the moment we are now, perhaps what we need to do most is to give one another and ourselves permission to be honest about how we are feeling. For those who need it, to name that heaviness which we encounter, and through naming it, to find shleimut, to find emotional wholeness. There's a thing that happens in many of the Psalms. The Psalms are ancient poems which are truly in touch with their own emotions. Many of them begin with pain, with fear, with loss, with heaviness. But through the expression of these emotions, the tone changes. The psalmist finds hope and finds the ability to raise their voice and sing. There's one on your supplement sheet, Psalm 13, which cries out, "How long will I have cares on my mind?" But then, having declared that, ends with words of joy. "I will sing to God, for God is good to me." Through the next few weeks, may we find it in ourselves to name how this world is making us feel, and to give others who need it the space to do so too. And through doing so, may we also find the ability to sing, as Psalm 13 does. ואני בחסדך בטחתי, יגע ליבי בישועתך. 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 אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. Ashir l'Adonai, Ashir l'Adonai, Ashir l'Adonai, ki gamal alai. Ashir l'Adonai, Ashir l'Adonai, Ashir l'Adonai, ki gamal alai. We turn to page 310 and rise together for the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula liotzer bereshit, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך,
Ki Adonai hu Elohim b'shamayim mima'al ve'al haaretz mitachat ein od.
We'll turn to our shul sheets and turn to the Judy Chicago reading towards the bottom of the page. And then all that has divided us will merge, and then compassion will be wedded to power, and then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind, and then both men and women will be gentle, and then both women and men will be strong, and then no person will be subject to another's will, and then all will be rich and free and varied, and then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many, and then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old, and then all will nourish the young, and then all will cherish life's creatures, and then all will live in harmony with one another and the earth, and then everywhere will be called Eden once again.
We turn together to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 316. As we sanctify the name of God, we do so in memory of those whose presence we miss. We join with all of those in the Shana, the year since the loss of a loved one. And we join with those who are marking the Yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of someone they loved. On this Shabbat, we remember Henriette Abbey, John Yehuda Abramoff, the Reverend Philip Cohen, Harry Cousins, Morris Cove, Ralph Finn, Linda Fisher, Jennifer Foreman, Stanley Friedman, Jeffrey Goldman, Frank Green, Hetty Harris, Stephen Harris, Harry Houseman, Lena Hilson, Leslie Joel, Raphael Kaplansky, Sandra Kessel, Violet Laskovska, Doreen Lazarus, Sarah Lewis, Cyril Margolis, Kitty Mellows, Barney Myers, Nicholas Harry Newman, Michael Nyman, Jacobeth Rubins, Stephen Rose, Philip Rosen, Zipporah Siegel, Alfred Spector, Daphne Cecile Summerfield, Jackie Sunderland, Alfred Tankel, Jacob Tebby, and Erica White. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. In loving memory, we invite all those who come to this Shabbat in mourning to join with me in leading the community in the Mourner's Kaddish. And we invite all those who stand with them to reply with the sanctification of God's name in the bold. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon. V'chayei dichol beit Yisrael. B'gala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah barach le'elam lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitalei v'yitalal shemei l'kudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Diamiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Ha'olam, V'imru Amen. So if you are bringing heaviness into this Shabbat, as many of us are, we hope that the joy and beauty of Shabbat will just lighten that load a little bit. As a community, obviously, we are committed to doing all we can to lighten the load of these difficult weeks again. So please do look on the website to see everything that is on offer this week. We've tried to start filling again our weeks so that we can join together in various ways. Just to say, if you have a BT Internet email account, then you're probably not receiving the weekly email at the moment. BT have decided that they don't like us very much. So if you are not receiving the email, then please make sure that you look on the website for the full program. As well as the heaviness of lockdown and of what is happening in America and our anxieties and fears around what's happening in the world, and also standing with those who are mourning, we must not forget that there's also much to be joyful about. So in a moment, we're going to sing together the words on top of our ark, Ivduat Adonai B'Simcha, but we especially want to share the joy of the Weiner family. Jenny and Ben were not supposed to be getting married until a couple of weeks from now, but we managed to squeeze in their wedding. So we hope that they are locked away somewhere enjoying the beginning of their married life together. And congratulations to Robert and to Ruth and to Ben's parents also. Before Kiddush, we're going to sing together Ivdu, which you'll find on your supplements. As we name our heaviness, we lighten the load by singing together.
Ivdu et Adonai b'simcha. Lefanav b'nana. Adonai b'simcha. Lefanav b'nana. Ki el melech gadol Adonai. Ki el melech gadol Adonai. Ki el melech gadol Adonai. Ki el melech gadol
Please do join with me in Kiddush, which you'll find on page 452. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho, b'ahava v'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'ma'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikrei kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu vachata, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim. So please do join Rabbi Elliot for our shiur at 9:15 tomorrow morning, Cantor Tamara and Katie and Rabbi Elliot for our service tomorrow. We are rebuilding our program, so just one service tomorrow at 10:30, but please do join us also to celebrate with Amelie as she reads Torah for the very first time from home. We wish you Shabbat Shalom, and we're going to take this moment to unmute you and give you the opportunity to wish Shabbat Shalom to one another. From us, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat
Shalom, my brothers and sisters in Erev. Shabbat
Shalom,
Shalom.
Shalom, Jenny.
Shabbat Shalom, Simone.
You can't see it. We'll bend down.
Shabbat Shalom.
Judy. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom, Judy.
Shalom, Jill and John.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.